Hello, fictional. Welcome to the fiction series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei was the path of the sekiryutei? Part 2. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. My name is Issei Argento, and I am a holy sister of the church. When I was just a baby, my mother abandoned me, and I was raised by the kind people of the church I was left at. Ever since then, I learned the ways of the church and the teachings of God. One day a wounded puppy walked into the church and was close to death. I prayed day and night for that puppy to be saved by God, and it was then my power of prayer awakened. Seeing it as a blessing from God, I decided to use this gift on anyone I should encounter. However, my days at the church were over after that day. I came across a wounded man who I later found out was a devil. I was banished from the church and labeled as a witch for healing a devil, but to this day, I don't regret what I did, nor do I hate that devil I healed. After I was placed in exile, I was put in the possession of the fallen angels, and my life was governed and monitored by the fallen angel Rainer. She didn't treat me poorly, but one day my life changed. After I completed my morning prayer to God, I was notified by Father Fried that Rainer was killed by a devil, and I was to be put in his care. Father Fried didn't seem like a bad person at first as we carried on our regular duty for the Lord. But after the death of Rainer came to his attention, he transformed into a savage beast. We were just on our way back from our latest job, and the sun had finally set. When we approached an alleyway, Father Fried changed and started to treat me very roughly, muttering, "How ironic it would be for a priest to taint a holy sister." Before I saw it coming, I was pinned to the wall, and he started caressing his hands above my body, and I felt terrified as he did so. I cried out for help, and that's when he showed up. His gentle and caring smile as he said to me these words, "Don't worry, I will protect you." Those words alone possessed the power to set my heart at ease, and I knew from the look on his face, I could rely on him to keep me safe. That man's name is Issei, who saved me from being defiled and even granted me entrance to his house. That time is now, and I am currently in his home taking a shower after he suggested I take one. I know that Issei-san is a good person and I can trust him. I feel relieved that I had a spare outfit in my brown satchel to replace the torn one that Fried ruined, so I did not have to impose on Issei-san by borrowing any of his clothes. I exited the shower feeling clean once again and dried myself off, getting dressed shortly after. I returned to Issei's room smelling a warm fragrance as I stepped inside. Thank you for letting me use your shower, Issei-san," I said, feeling both happy and embarrassed, this being my first time in a boy's room before. "Not a problem, Asia, please have a seat, I've prepared some tea," Issei said, offering me a cup. Thank you very much," I said, bowing to him. Sitting down at the other end of the table afterwards. "It's delicious. I see, I'm glad you like it," Issei said with that warm smile of his. "So Asia, how are you feeling?" Issei asked me, obviously concerned about what just happened to me. "I'm fine now, all thanks to you. You really are a saint." Issei. "Amen," I sending a prayer. What's wrong?" "I'm so sorry. I forgot you're a devil, so that must hurt you, right?" I said, panicking when I realized I hurt him. "It's fine. And what do you mean you forgot I was a devil? Surely that priest said it enough," Issei said, laughing a bit afterwards. "Well, the thing is, Issei-san is such a nice person that I couldn't see you as any kind of devil," I said with a slight blush on my cheeks, realizing I said something very embarrassing. "I see, thank you Asia, that makes me happy," Issei said, avoiding my embarrassment as he accepted what I just said happily. "Anyway Asia, I have something to ask you," Issei said, staring right at me after finishing his tea. "Yes, what is it?" I said back, feeling nervous. "Is it really true that you have no place left to go?" Issei said to me, making me surprised, but I answered him. "Yes, I was exiled from the church, so I no longer have a home." But don't worry, I can take shelter in the church," I said, secretly worried about it. "No, that's not good enough. I will offer you the spare room in my house. I can't just let a pretty and gentle girl like you stay out on the streets. Please accept my offer, I really want to help you," Issei said, making me cry. I placed my arms around his neck in happiness as I thanked him repeatedly. "Thank you so much, Issei-san. I don't care if you are a devil. You truly are a great person and a gift sent to me from God. I promise that I won't be a burden to you," I said, now releasing him and now sitting on my knees. "Nice to meet you, my name is Issei Argento. Please take care of me, Issei-san," I said, feeling very emotional to be saved not just once, but twice by this boy. Normal perspective, Issei patted the blonde girl on the head and then wiped away her tears. "Go get some rest, you must be exhausted," Issei said, settling the girl's mood. "Yes, I am, it's been quite a day," Asia said, stretching her arms as she stood up. "Tomorrow's a Saturday, so I will introduce you to my master and see if we can help you out," Issei said to the girl as she approached the door. "Yes, thank you very much, I am very grateful, Issei-san," Asia said, approaching the room Issei let her use. At night, the holy sister finally managed to get a good night's sleep. Meanwhile, a certain red-haired beauty struggled to get even a wink of sleep. Rias collapsed onto her bed, having suffered another nightmare of Riser, this time of him killing Issei. What should I do? Rias said as she began to get upset, knowing full well that she wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. The next day arrived in a flash at the Haidu household as the Red Dragon Emperor began his morning routine. After completing his early workout, Issei began preparations for breakfast. Asia was still asleep, but she was soon woken up by a beautiful aroma that invaded her nostrils, waking her up gently. Asia went down the stairs following the interesting scent leading her towards the living room. Asia's sleepy eyes shot wide open when she saw the feast that was laid out on the table. "Ah, good morning, Asia, did you sleep well?" Issei said, smiling towards her whilst he took off his apron. "Yes, I did, thank you," Asia replied, unable to turn away from the delicious food on the table. "Ah, that. I'm sorry, I guess I made a bit too much. My appetite is that of a dragon's after all, so I forget to hold back when preparing somebody else's meals." Issei said, smiling whilst he scratched the back of his head. "No. It all looks so delicious, and plus I'm very hungry. Thank you for the food," Asia said, showing no hesitation to dig in. This is so good. Issei-san, you're a great chef," Asia said, making Issei smile. "Well, you know, when you've lived alone for 6 years, you learn how to do things like this," Issei said, causing Asia to ask. Issei-san, why do you live alone?" Asia said, causing Issei to pull a sad expression. Even though it's been asked many times, Issei still feels the pain whenever he remembers their lifeless bodies on the ground. "When I was only 11 years old, my parents were murdered by a fallen angel, and then I too was killed. I was revived as a devil and then once again came close to death. But when I wished for power to protect myself and to avenge my parents, it's as if the sacred gear heard me and gave me power. I got my revenge, but I vowed that I would never let anybody else's lives be made miserable by the fallen angels and that I would protect the innocent," Issei said, quickly consuming his drink. Afterwards, seeing Asia about to cry, he spoke up. "But don't worry, I'm fine. Hurry, eat your breakfast and then take a shower. I have washed and dried some clothes for you, so please go get ready, we have a big day ahead of us," Issei said, quickly disrupting the depressing atmosphere. "Yes, I will," Asia said, resuming her delicious meal. After Asia and Issei were ready to go, the two left the Haidu residence and made their way for Kuo Academy. Issei and Asia approached the Orc clubhouse and opened the wide wooden doors, entering into the sitting room. "Excuse me, President Rias," Issei said, making his way to his master's desk after noticing the situation. Rias Gremory was in fact in the clubhouse, but she wasn't aware of Issei or Asia's presence. Issei smiled and removed his jacket, placed it over his master's shoulders as she slept on her desk. "Thanks for the hard work, master," Issei said, placing a note he wrote to her in the jacket pocket. "Let's go, Asia, the president is tired, so I will show you around the town," Issei said, ushering her out of the room. "Yes, of course, Issei-san," Asia said, following him out of the room. Meanwhile, while Issei and Asia were making their way out of the building, the president was imprisoned in her dreams. Rias Gremory felt so cold during her sleep as soon as that frightening man appeared again. "Ah, look, it's my wife-to-be, Rias. I hope you know that I plan on having sex with you before we are married," the golden-haired devil said, making Rias startled and start to retreat back. Just as Rias stepped back though, a circle of flames surrounded them, trapping her inside. "There is nowhere to run, my Rias, you are mine, and someday I will take you for myself. No, stay back. Shout as loud as you want, Rias. Nobody is going to save you," Riser said, tearing at Ria's school shirt, revealing her naked torso. All of a sudden, Rias suddenly felt a warm sensation not from the fire but inside her chest. As if he were summoned by her cries for help, Rias was completely silenced when she saw the brown-haired boy with his sacred gear equipped standing right in front of her. "Issei? You bastard. I won't let you hurt Rias anymore," Issei said whilst his sacred gear's gem began to shine on cue. Rias ran towards Issei's back and tried to throw her arms behind him. But before she could do this, he vanished and Rias had come back to reality. Rias took a few seconds to register what just happened, and this left her both relieved and sad. Relieved that Issei showed up in her dream to protect her. And sad because she didn't even get the chance to embrace Issei in her dreams, let alone in reality. It was then she realized the warm coat which was placed on her back whilst she slept at her desk. Rias blushed when she recognized the scent as she held it towards her face. "It's Issei's scent," Rias said, sighing as she hugged it close towards her chest. Revealing the letter that fell out of the pocket, the president opened up the folded paper and read what it said. "President Rias, yesterday I saved a holy sister from an abusive priest and she now has no place to go home to. I took her in because she's only just arrived in Japan and still has loads to learn, but I mainly feel responsible because I killed Rainer, the fallen angel she was being fed and kept alive by. Need to speak to you about what we should do next, as I believe that you are the right person to come to about this. Thanks for the hard work. Hi to Issei." Rias folded the letter and began doing the task she set out to do when she first came into the clubroom. Elsewhere, Issei and Asia were walking around the town to which Issei was showing her around. Issei decided to take Asia clothes shopping first because of her lack of the essentials, paying for them himself from his savings as a devil he earned, whilst he worked as a stray devil for Sirzechs. After they finished clothes shopping, Issei bought Asia and himself a crepe. "Here you go, Asia," Issei said, handing her the delicious pastry. After Asia took a bite from the snack, she began to cry, alerting Issei. "What's wrong, Asia, do you not like it?" Issei said, panicking over Asia suddenly crying. "No, it's not that at all. It's just ever since I was little, I have always dreamed about making friends with others. We would go play, read books and pick flowers. And you've treated me so kindly, a complete stranger. I don't know how to thank you," Asia said, unable to contain her happiness. "What are you talking about, Asia? I already consider us as friends and friends look out for each other, so you have no need to thank me. I'm just doing what I can to help a friend who is in trouble," Issei said, patting her on the head. Asia couldn't contain herself any longer as she wrapped her arms around him. "Thank you so much, Issei-san, I'm so happy that the first person I met yesterday was such a nice and gentle man like you," Asia said, accidentally pushing her crepe into his nose. "Oh, I'm so sorry," Asia said, bowing down to him. Issei burst out laughing as he removed the cream from his nose. "Hey, if you wanted to share your food with me, you should have just said so," Issei said, smiling as he ate the cream that was left on his face. Asia stopped panicking and began to laugh as well. After a long day of visiting the tourist attractions and landmarks, Issei and Asia were beginning to make their way back to the Haidu residence. "Asia, stay behind me," Issei said as a loud sound of flapping wings sounded through the sky. "Who are you and what do you want, fallen angel?" Issei said, getting ready to fight. "I have no business with you, devil, now hand over the nun." I sent slowly. "She belongs to the fallen angels," the male corrupt angel said. "Asia belongs to nobody. And if you want her you'll have to get through me first," Issei said back. "She is a mere human who possesses a sacred gear. It is her destiny to either die or serve us higher beings. Then I will protect her from scum like you. I am the sekiryutei Haidu Issei," the teen said as he revealed his boosted gear. "No way, the sekiryutei, the devil that killed Donosik and Rainer." That line made Asia shocked and Issei on high alert. "That's right, I will kill anyone who threatens to hurt those I love. So if you treasure your life, get out of here now," Issei said, making the fallen angel cower backwards and fly away. "Issei-san, is it true that you killed Rainer?" Asia said, very startled. "Yes, it's true, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I just didn't want to frighten you," Issei said, completely surprised by Asia's actions when she grabbed him. "I knew it. I knew that God sent you to help me. I was suffering when I was with the fallen angels, but you set me free, Issei-san. I couldn't ask for a better person to call my friend," Asia said, holding him close. "I'm glad that I helped you, Asia. I know exactly what it's like to have your life ruined by fallen angels," Issei said as they walked home. Issei and Asia made it back to the Haidu household and they made their way to bed straight after they brushed their teeth. "Good night, Issei-san, thank you for these pajamas, they are very comfortable," Asia said, smiling. "That's okay, Asia. If you need anything just ask me, okay?" Issei said as they both went into their rooms. Issei removed his t-shirt and climbed into bed, one thought in his mind as he closed his eyes. "I wonder if Rias is okay." Later on in the night, a bright crimson light shone from the center of Issei's bedroom. As if she was answering Issei's question, Rias Gremory stood there in Issei's room and began to remove her clothes. "I'm sorry, Issei, please forgive me. But I feel more comfortable sleeping by your side. I can't sleep without you anymore," the Crimson Princess said as she climbed under the covers with Issei resting her naked body on his chest. "It's just as I thought, this is where I feel the most comfortable. I just wish I could stay by your side forever, Issei," Rias said as she closed her eyes and stole him for the use of a body pillow. Issei suddenly woke from his sleep when he felt something soft touching his arm. As Issei opened his eyes to investigate, he suddenly became both very embarrassed and shocked when he saw his master laying right next to him stark naked. "President Rias, I'm sorry, I'll move right away," Issei said, panicking as he tried to retreat from the bed. All of a sudden, Issei found himself being pulled back into his bed as if he were captured by a powerful magnet. The brown-haired teen tried to escape again but suddenly stopped when he heard something. "No. Please don't leave me, Issei," Rias said as she pulled Issei's head in between her boobs. Issei smiled and relaxed himself, deciding to stroke Ria's hair instead to settle her down. "You don't have anything to worry about, Rias, I would never leave your side," Issei said, looking at his clock, and found himself falling asleep again when he realized it was only 4 a.m. 2 hours later, Rias opened her eyes, stretching her arms above her head to wake herself up. Rias looked to her side and was suddenly overcome with joy when she saw Issei was sound asleep right next to her. Feeling lazy because it was a Sunday, Rias lay back down by his side and stared at her servant whilst he rested. Rias couldn't help herself as her heart felt like it was trying to escape her chest as she stared at him. The Crimson Princess sat up as soon as she heard a knock on Issei's bedroom door. "Yes, come in," Rias said, trying her best not to wake up Issei. As soon as Rias invited the guest in, the beautiful golden-haired girl entered the room and looked very nervous. "Oh, you must be the nun who Issei saved the other day," Rias said, remembering Issei's note. Yes, Miss Rias, my name is Asia and Issei-san really helped me the other day. He is a great person," Asia said back. "Of course, that's my cute servant alright. Well then Asia, how about I help you say thank you to Issei? Come with me," Rias said as she climbed out of bed and began getting dressed. "Thank Issei-san. Yes, that's right, come on, let's make him some breakfast to make him happy," Rias said as she led Asia out of the room, leaving Issei to sleep soundly. Asia and Rias spent their time in the kitchen preparing Issei's breakfast and his morning beverage whilst they spoke to each other. "So Asia, do you like living at Issei's house?" Rias said as she poured Issei's tea. "Yes. It's very comforting and warm here. Issei-san is a very gentle person and has been a huge help for me," Asia said back happily whilst she prepared his rice. "I see, well Issei is a good person, so please do whatever you can to help him," Asia, the high-class devil said, making Asia reply instantly. "Of course. I will do anything I can to help Issei, even if it's just household chores. I don't intend to take advantage of Issei's help," Asia said, making Rias smile. "I'm glad to hear that. Now let's go set the table. I sense he'll be waking up soon," the crimson-haired girl said, placing the cutlery on the table. Issei on schedule awoke from his bed at 6:30, putting on a t-shirt and walked into the dining room to make his morning tea. But to his great surprise, a delicious fragrance originated from the next room. The dragon wielder walked into the room and witnessed the two beauties looking at him with a smile as they stood over the feast on the table. "Good morning Issei-san," Asia said, waving towards the teen. "Good morning Issei, I hope you're hungry because two beautiful girls have made you a feast for you to eat," Rias said, gesturing towards the fine cuisine decorated on the table. "Boy, that smells good, thanks for the meal," Issei said, digging into his breakfast along with Asia and Rias, who also begun to eat. After a lively breakfast, Issei placed the bowls in the sink, getting ready to clean up. "No, that's okay Issei-san. Please allow us to wash the dishes whilst you go take a bath," Asia said, making Issei smile in response. "Well then thank you, I will take two up on your kind offer," Issei said, rubbing both of their heads and journeying upstairs afterwards. "The bath huh?" Rias thought to herself as she snuck away from the kitchen, leaving Asia to wash up. Rias removed her clothes along with her underwear and entered through the door, grabbing onto Issei's arm before he entered the bath. "I got you," Rias said with a teasing expression. P.R. President Rias. "What are you doing in here?" Issei said, panicking as he couldn't help but gaze at her beautiful figure. "What? Isn't that obvious? A good master always deepens their bonds with their servants. So I'm going to wash your back for you," Rias said, trailing her index finger from his abdomen up to his chest. "But even so," Issei said. "You don't want me to wash your back?" Rias said with a slight pout, making Issei melt inside. "Damn, she's just too cute," Issei thought to himself as he answered her question. "I didn't say that, master," Issei said, trying his best to look away. "Then let's get inside," Rias said with a happy expression, not noticing the sudden guest. "Lady Rias, this isn't appropriate behavior for the heir to the Gremory name. Honestly, frolicking in the nude with just a low-class devil, please get dressed and follow me to the school," a silver-haired woman said as she dressed in a maid outfit. "Don't call my servants low-class, big sister Grafia. It matters not what I call them. Please just exercise caution when you leave yourself vulnerable to a man," Grafia said, making Issei turn around and speaking to her. "Low-class devil? How mean, Grafia? Have you forgotten who I am already?" Issei said, grinning at her when he saw her reaction. "The sekiryutei." "Hi to Issei. I do apologize for my rude manner of speaking. It has been quite a while since you left the Gremory castle," Grafia said, bowing to him. "That's okay. By the way, is Lord Sirzechs as well?" Issei said, acting very formal with her. "Yes, he is missing you greatly though, Issei." "I see, no wonder that guy never changes," Issei said with a smile. Grafia returned her sight to Rias. "Please get dressed and travel with me to the clubhouse. Gather all of your servants, it's time," Grafia said, making Rias sad all of a sudden. "I see. Then I will get ready," Rias said, using magic to dress herself in her Kuo Academy outfit. "Right. President Rias, is something wrong?" Issei said, sensing Rias' change in her mood. Yes. Forgive me Issei, I will be heading off first. Please come to the clubroom with Asia once you have finished your preparations," Rias said, putting on her shoes and heading towards the entrance. "Yes, President, I will be there shortly," Issei said with a smile, but Rias merely responded with a weak smile back. Issei knew something was wrong, but brushed it off, remembering he would have another chance to talk to her about it. After Issei and Asia finished their morning duties, they rushed towards Kuo Academy's clubroom. Issei realized that he and Asia were the last to arrive as he felt his other devil comrades already present in the room. However, something didn't feel right with Issei as he approached the room. Nevertheless, Issei brushed it off once again and opened the doors greeting everyone. "Morning everyone, what's the big emerging?" Issei said, cutting himself short when he immediately noticed the discomfort on his master's face as she sat next to another on the sofa. "Ah, Issei, good for you to make it," Grafia said, acknowledging that all were present now. Issei wasn't listening to Grafia at this point as his focus was wandering elsewhere as he watched his master carefully. "This is Rias Gremory's fiancé, Riser Phoenix," Grafia said, but Issei still focused his attention on her. His anger boiling inside as he saw Rias looking uncomfortable. The golden-haired devil was running his hands all over Rias as he touched every part of her. Rias remained silent as the perverted devil grabbed her boob and rubbed against her thigh with his other hand. Issei had enough and finally spoke up. "Excuse me, could you stop doing that to the president? She doesn't look too comfortable there," Issei said, suppressing his anger. Learn your place, low-class devil. I will do what I please," the pervert replied in an arrogant tone towards Issei. Rias decided she had enough and slapped away his hands as she stood up. "That's enough. Riser, I told you before, I will not marry you, and I told you, Rias, that this marriage is necessary for the future of the devil's survival. And you will let me do as I please to preserve the lives of your weak servants," Riser said back, making Kiba materialize, a sword being quickly stopped by Kaneko. "My family is being too rash with this. Rest assured, I intend to marry, but only with a man I choose myself that I truly love and who truly loves me, for not just being the heir to the Gremory family, but just as Rias," Rias replied, feeling shocked when Riser suddenly grabbed her by the chin to face him. "Stop behaving like a brat and think of our race, Rias. And accept my generosity to merge with the Phoenix household," Riser said, leaning in to kiss her. Rias starts to whimper and leak a tear as she clearly showed she did not want this to be her first kiss. Suddenly, Rias feels a great force pulling her away from the Phoenix member, followed by a gentle arm wrapping round her waist. "I told you to stop upsetting my master," Issei said, now equipping his boosted gear. "Boy, you don't know who you are messing with," Riser said, clicking his fingers and as a result summoning his peerage. "I won't let you harm my president anymore, Riser," Issei said back, making Riser angry. "Who do you think you are? You're just air," Riser said, being silenced by Issei, who threw a powerful punch, halting it as it neared his nose. The strength of Issei's punch created a huge gaping hole in the wall behind Riser, showing the full velocity and dynamic force of Issei's power. "I won't tell you again, take one more step towards Rias and I won't hold back," Issei said, his boosted gear shining as it boosted several times in a row. "How dare you attack my king?" a purple-haired lady said, unleashing her explosive power. Issei didn't budge from his spot. He stood as he embraced, gently placing his palm out in front of them and grasped hold of the explosion. "Serves you right for attacking Lord Riser," the purple-haired devil said, her look of satisfaction quickly fading as the smoke faded away. "Is that all?" Issei replied, looking at the puzzled queen. "How dare you? Let's go, Carmine." Riser Knights jumped into action, both taking offensive fighting stances on either side of Issei. "If you choose to point your weapons at me," Issei said, being cut off by the first knight who aimed a sword slash towards him. Issei grabbed the blade of her sword, crushing it effortlessly with his gauntlet. "Then you too will be my enemy," Issei said, discarding the crushed shards of the sword with a scary expression. "Riser Phoenix. Let's settle this like men. I challenge you to a battle one-on-one at your engagement party. And if I win, you let Rias go. I know my president. Rias Gremory is a strong and powerful devil, but deep down behind all that strength she displays, she's just like any other girl who is entitled to choose the one she wants to be with. And I can see by the look of disgust on her face that you couldn't possibly bring her that. And as a servant of Rias Gremory and her trusted pawn, I will fight for her dream and protect her." Rias began to blush at Issei's manly behavior and listens to the conversation. "Very well, it will make for some great entertainment at the party and will mark as my final flame before I settle down." But that being said, Riser and his peerage were engulfed in flames and vanished from the club room. Issei releases Rias and then goes down to one knee. "Master Rias Gremory, I request a leave of absence from my usual duties to allow me time to train," Issei said, looking her right in the eyes. "Issei, you don't have to do this doesn't concern you," Rias said in a harsh tone because she was really worried about him. "My duty as your servant is to help you achieve your dreams, President. And I can tell that you're not happy this marriage that has been arranged for you. So I will do everything in my power to protect your happiness." Issei making her blush and only able to say one thing in response. "Okay Issei, I will permit this absence," Rias said, unable to say anything else. "Thank you Rias Gremory, please stay at my house until I return. I promise I will return to bring you back here," Issei said as he created a magic circle. "I understand," Rias said as he began to vanish. "Thank you master, I'm off to the underworld now, so please take care of Asia," Issei said, vanishing in the blink of an eye. President Rias. "What is it Asia?" Rias said back in a friendly tone. Please make me your servant as well. I want to stay by Issei's side forever and help all of you with my sacred gear to heal you when you get hurt. Asia said, bowing down in respect. I understand. I will make you the Gremory household second bishop. Are you sure you're prepared to do this? Rias said, getting Asia's confirmation. Yes. My resolve is clear and I want to do this. I want to get to know you all and become great friends with you. I want to be able to help Issei to, so please make me your servant president. Asia said, bowing down her head again. Rias smiled and then said, welcome to the Gremory household, Asia Argento. Meanwhile at the Gremory castle. Two devils faced each other in the throne room. Please Lord Sirzechs, allow me to train under you and Azazel again. I am ready to release the full potential of my sacred gear. Issei said, bowing his head down to the Demon King. Why do you feel you need to do this? Sirzechs said to the Red Dragon Emperor. Because I want to be able to gain enough power to protect Rias and the rest of the Gremory household from any other threat besides Riser who may surface. Lord Sirzechs smiled, feeling Issei's strong resolve. Very well, I will allow you to train with me and Azazel again. Be prepared. Thank you very much, Lord Sirzechs. I promise that I will not Rias shed any more tears doing something she does not want to do. Issei said, bowing and then leaving the room. President Rias, I swear I will protect your smile. And help all of your dreams become a reality. Issei said as he began his basics training. Issei and the demon Lord Sirzechs traveled the corridors of the Gremory castle, making their way to the training hall. Honestly, Issei, you're so mean. You spent so long away from the castle and I didn't even receive a single postcard or call from you. Sirzechs said, making Issei grin. Forgive me, Sirzechs, I had something to take care of first. Issei said, referring to his fallen angel missions. Yes, I know, Issei, or should I call you by your other name in the demon world? The corrupt fallen angel exterminator Nightwing. Sirzechs said, making Issei blush a bit. Lord Sirzechs, please don't come up with strange nicknames. Issei said back, referring to what Sirzechs just said. But it sounds cool, doesn't it? And there you go, calling me Sirzechs again. I told you to call me Big Brother, remember, Sirzechs said, pulling a sad face. You're the demon lord. There is no way I could address you like that. Issei said, remembering this is what Sirzechs, the man who saved him, was like. Why not? After all, when you marry Rias I'll be your brother-in-law. Sirzechs said, making Issei blush again. What are you babbling about now? Rias is already taken. Issei said, following a smile on Sirzechs' face. But you're going to win her freedom, aren't you? Well, yeah, but you've already said you'll save her from that man. Of course, but even so. So I hope you're prepared to take responsibility and take care of Rias for me. Sirzechs said, smiling towards the young devil. Originally I was just fulfilling a promise I made to you, the man I owe my life to. I promised you I would find my master and protect your little sister. But when I finally met her, I was blown away. I admire her charisma and her love for her servants, but the truth is when I see her cry or when she is unhappy, I want to do whatever I can to make her smile again. Issei said without even thinking and made a certain high-class devil grin. Very good, Issei, you have passed the test. Test what, T? Issei said, being interrupted by Sirzechs, who said something outrageous again. So you need to train in order to sweep her off her feet and make her yours. Sirzechs said his older brother loves Rias switch being turned on. Will you cut it out? Geez, Sirzechs, it's so amazing that you're still keeping hell together. Now don't say that, Issei, we're here. Sirzechs said, standing outside a door with a gold plate across the top. I'll allow Azazel to start you off. After your session, come find me and I will do our usual training routine. I understand, please teach me, Lord Sirzechs. Issei said, now knocking on the door and walking inside. Good afternoon, Azazel. Issei said so formally to the high-tier fallen angel. Now this brings back memories. What do you want with me, Red Dragon Emperor? Hi to Issei. Azazel replied, spinning around to see the devil as he took a sip from his goblet. I want you to help me unlock the full extent of my balance breaker power. At the moment I have only been able to summon the form when I am taken over by a furious rage or when I am face to face with a fallen angel. But it's not convenient for me anymore. I have found a master and made friends with my fellow servants and I want to gain the power to protect them all. Issei said, sitting down in Caesar's position whilst he spoke to Azazel now. I see, so you have finally found a goal that doesn't center on hatred or revenge. Azazel said, looking on proudly at his young pupil. Yes, but I can't afford to rely on my balance breaker form as it is now. I can't risk the power overtaking me and making me lose all my reason. I can't risk hurting anyone. So please help me achieve balance breaker completely. This incomplete state is too unstable and I could risk going into Juggernaut overdrive mode. Issei said, fully aware of this form prior to Drake's warning. I see, sure thing, I will help you unlock the full extent of your power. But be prepared, this training may affect you both mentally and physically. But are you still prepared? Azazel said, if it's to help me protect my new life and my master, I will endure any pain or torture I have to face. Ever since I became a devil I never felt I had any reason left to live. Now my parents are gone. The only thing that kept me alive was my desire for revenge. But now I want to protect everyone of the Gremory household. Well, I guess you could say I want to protect my master," Issei said, showing his resolve. "Very good, I like the look in your eyes. Right, we will get started immediately. First things first, activate your sacred gear," Azazel said, standing from his seat. "I understand. Boosted gear," Issei replied, bringing out his gauntlet. "The purpose of this training is to unlock your balance breaker. To do that, you are going to have to travel inside your sacred gear itself and face the power you fear so much head on. Partner, be careful. Reg. When your spirit goes inside the gauntlet, I won't be able to reach you. So make sure you don't lose to the destruction that lies inside. I won't accept it if you let those weaklings who can't hold a candle to the current sekiryutei. Don't worry about that, Drag. I have no intention of losing to this power. After all, I made a promise to Rias. I will free her from that bastard and become strong enough to protect my new friends," Issei said as he closed his eyes and prepared himself. As soon as Issei opened his eyes again, he found himself in a white void. "So this is inside my sacred gear? I best stay on my guard, anything can happen if I let it down here." All of a sudden, Issei felt like he was dreaming as the beautiful and elegant master of his stood right there in front of him. "Rias? What are you doing here?" Issei said with a smile as he ran towards her. Issei found himself striking an invisible barrier, propelling him backwards from his master. It was what happened next that began to strike pain inside him. "You really think you can save her?" Issei turned around slowly, a look of despair on his face, recognizing the voice. "How can you expect to save her when you couldn't even protect your parents?" Rainer said, making Issei lose his mental strength. Issei screamed when he saw the two dead bodies at his feet again. "You're nothing but a little boy crying for his mother. You can't protect anyone," Rainer said, stabbing him in the shoulder whilst he knelt down staring at his parents' dead bodies. "No, you're wrong. I plan to use this power to protect those I care about." "Protect them? I think you're mistaken. All you know how to do is destroy and kill. You'll be more fitting known as the Crimson Dragon of Destruction. Your parents are dead because of me, a monster. But if you continue to pursue your false sense of justice, you will continue to be consumed by that overwhelming power and kill all of them. Everyone you cared for will be annihilated by the dragon that you will become," Rainer said, stabbing him with another light spear, pinning him to the ground. "She's right, no matter how many times the sacred gear is passed on, all of the possessors let out the monster within cause chaos and destruction with the flames of purgatory." One of the green orbs of light said, making Issei lose further in mental power. "It's always been because of power, it's always been for love. No matter how many times it happens, they all chose the path of ruin," all green light said, making Issei scream further in despair. "No. I won't let that happen," Issei shouted, feeling the words pierce him deep. "It's true, I'm afraid of my power. I'm afraid that it will destroy everything," Issei said with a blank expression now. "That's right, accept reality and watch as your beloved master suffers because you cannot protect her," Rainer said, pointing towards Rias, who was now being approached by the golden-haired pervert. "No, stay back. Issei will come. He will come save me," Rias said in tears as her uniform was turned to ash and she tried to retreat in just her underwear. "You bastard. Stay away from my master," Issei said, trying to stand, but the pain was too unbearable. Razor destroyed the demon lord's little sister's bra, next releasing Ria's boobs and making her hide them in embarrassment. "No, stay away from me. I will make you obedient towards your husband," Razor said, pushing her down to the floor. "I said stay away from her. It's useless, if you persist this path, you will be swallowed by the power and you will kill her yourself." "No, Issei, help me." Issei gritted his teeth and began to pick himself up. "You will fall helpless to the power. No one can escape the power of the Red Dragon Emperor." "Get away from her," Issei said, quietly trying to stand up. "Haha. That's right, squirm like your parents did, you pathetic boy," Rainer said as Issei screamed, trying to force his body through the light spears. "You will submit to the Juggernaut overdrive. There is no escape." "Issei." Rias screamed, being fondled by the Phoenix member. "Don't fuck with me," Issei shouted, being surrounded by towering flames burning the screaming Rainer to ashes. A row of fallen angels that Issei defeated stood in his way now. "Get out of my way," Issei shouted, dashing right through them. "That's right, scream his name whilst I make you mine," Riser said, making Rias scream louder. "Rias," Issei shouted, his whole body being surrounded in a tower of fire. "Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker," Drake shouted, Issei's sacred gear becoming visible again. Issei emerged from the flames and was now wearing his highly durable dragon armor. "I said get out of my way." Issei dashed forward with his dragon wings flapping and his emerald boosters on his back blasting. Issei advanced, immediately reducing each and every one of his previous assassinations to smoke as he approached the invisible wall. Issei swung his fist at the barrier, determined to break through at full speed. "Get away from Rias," Issei said, increasing his power as he tried to punch through. Boost. 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 Issei's sacred gear shone brighter than he has ever experienced before as cracks now formed on the invisible wall. Breakthrough. Boost. 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 The wall that denied Issei's access very adamantly earlier crumbled to pieces in an instant, the shards of the barrier falling to the ground. Issei charged straight ahead, showing no fear towards the devil, who tried to take advantage of his precious master, collided with him head-on. Issei crashed his fist into the arrogant devil, resulting with Rias attacking him back with his flames. Issei and Rias locked horns fiercely, the power struggle between them continuing. "You're just a low-class devil. How dare you interfere? I don't give a crap about ranks. I will not let you have Rias," Issei shouted, using his dragon shot to extinguish the so-called immortal flame. Issei knelt down to the distressed girl and began to speak to her. "Whether this is an illusion or reality, I promise you I will not fail you. I will rescue your Rias," Issei said as the red-haired girl was consumed in a blinding light, making her disappear. It was only after his master left the void that Issei realized his transformation. He did it. He finally achieved balance breaker through a method or reasoning other than revenge or hatred. He succeeded with the goal of protecting his master and King Rias' Gremory. Issei shielded his eyes from a blinding light, feeling himself being pulled upwards as if he were leaving the atmosphere itself. "Oi sekiryutei. Issei." Issei opened his eyes, locating the source of the voice calling out to him. "Azazel. What happened?" Issei asked, Drake being the one to answer instead. "Partner, congratulations. You did it. You achieved balance breaker," Drake answered, leaving Issei flabbergasted. "I did. That wasn't just an illusion. Sacred gears respond to the will of their user. Your desire to overcome the corruption and save Rias allowed you to unlock and break the seal," Drake said to Issei's great delight. "Yes. Now I can move on to the second stage of my training," Issei said, feeling the increased power running through his veins. "According to my analysis, partner, with this seal being broken, you now have the ability to stay in balance breaker form for at least 30 minutes," Drake said, feeling Issei's innate power. "Impressive, looks like you'll be ready for Sirzechs' training now. I hear he has something special planned for you. It seems you passed the exam, Issei. Now go and get some rest. You'll need it for what comes next," Azazel said, dismissing Issei from his room. Issei went to the guest room at once, summoning his gauntlet as soon as he went inside. "Drake, I need to talk to you." "What's the matter, partner?" Drake replied, unable to predict Issei's motive. "As it stands, I may be in danger when controlling the balance breaker of the boosted gear. At the moment my balance breaker is still in an incomplete state, which could easily switch to Juggernaut overdrive if I should let my guard down. So Drake, I have a favor to ask of you." "What can I do for you, Issei?" "I want you to take possession of my arm and turn part of my body into a dragon. I feel if you help me, I can control this power and achieve complete control of the Longinus and your hidden power. So please, Drake," Issei said, bowing to his sacred gear. "I got it, partner. I can see you're thinking wisely by allowing me to help you control the power. You're not alone here," Drake said in a cheerful manner, realizing that Issei was thinking logically. "I'm ready when you are, Drake," Issei said as a bright light shot through the windows in the Gremory castle. Meanwhile, in the human realm, Rias and the rest of her peerage were en route to a selected mountain terrain. Flashback. After Asia was brought back as a devil, Rias gathered everyone in the club room, for she had an announcement to make. "Everyone gather your belongings and prepare to leave by evening," Rias ordered, determination burning through her eyes. "What is the reason for this sudden trip, Rias?" Akeno said, confused of the idea of a sudden journey. "Asia, our newest member, requested that I help her understand the power of her sacred gear, and she also wants to get to know the rest of her kind. Also, I thought this would be a great opportunity to hone and increase the skill level of the Gremory household," Rias said, as but really the reason was she couldn't afford to not be proactive with so much on her. She needed something to distract her. But Issei gone, her worries only grew further, feeling like she saw a premonition as she was haunted night after night by the same dream. The dream was always the same. Issei covered in blood and then being burned to a crisp by Razor. Rias was desperate and was prepared to marry Razor in order to prevent this tragedy from happening. End of flashback. Hiba, Kaneko, Asia, Akeno and Rias finally made it to the bootcamp Rias had organized, with motivation running on overdrive as they traveled through the gateway. Rias had already planned out each of her servants' training schedules, which were all organized into pairs. It was decided that this would be the matchups. Kaneko and Kiba. Asia and Akeno. Kaneko was instructed to improve her speed and endurance, making Kiba an excellent partner for this task. Kiba's instructions were more straightforward. Achieve balance breaker. Asia was to be taught all about her sacred gear by the president herself, including the basics about life as a devil. Followed by magic reinforcement training with Akeno. Rias decided to train alone, given her own personal goal to defeat the storm that plagued her mind. Rias was aiming to strengthen her strategic mind and her own power if the worst case should happen and she was forced to resort to a raiding game for the engagement party's entertainment. Rias couldn't help but wonder about Issei when the sun finally set. Rias was suddenly alerted when she received an incoming call. "Hello? Rias, it's been a while since we spoke. Big brother. Yes, have you been well? Yes, big brother, I'm just training my peerage at the Grimoire boot camp. Very good as expected of my little sister." The silence is drawn out for 1 minute until Sirzechs began to speak again. "Rias, worry not, Issei is safe and sound. He is training in the underworld with me. Big brother, please stop him. He doesn't need to do this." "Sorry, I can't do that, Rias. I have my own personal interest in the boy I resurrected and I am going to test him personally," Sirzechs said, sending a chill down Rias' spine. "Big brother, you don't mean. It appears my guest has arrived. Well then, Rias, goodbye," Sirzechs said, ending the transmission. "Big brother," Rias shouted, worried now more than ever. Rias tried to contact her brother, but the connection did not go through, leading to the conclusion that Sirzechs had activated a jammer to prevent outside intrusion. Rias panicked now as Issei was going to be tested by the demon lord himself. "Issei," Rias said as she held her hand towards her heart, now worried more than ever. "So you've finally arrived. Hi do Issei. Are you ready to fight me now?" "Yes, I am," Issei said. "Interesting, I like the look in your eyes. But don't you dare hold back. Because if you hold back against me, you will die, that is guaranteed," Sirzechs said, pointing towards the Red Dragon Emperor. "Don't worry, Lord Sirzechs, I'm coming at you with everything I have," Issei said, materializing his dragon armor. "Welsh dragon balance breaker. Come at me, Issei," Sirzechs said, getting ready to face the sekiryutei. "Don't you dare hold back. Because if you hold back against me, you will die, that is guaranteed," Sirzechs said, pointing towards the Red Dragon Emperor. "Don't worry, Lord Sirzechs, I'm coming at you with everything I have," Issei said, materializing his dragon armor. "Welsh dragon balance breaker. Come at me, Issei," Sirzechs said, getting ready to face the sekiryutei. "Alright, here I come. Demon Lord Sirzechs," Issei shouted, using his dragon wings to charge him. "Hi do Issei raced toward Sirzechs, aiming to finally land an attack on the all-powerful demon lord. A task he has never been able to achieve. However, every time Lord Sirzechs begins to channel his magic power, Issei suddenly halts his attack, feeling the immense pressure from Sirzechs. Sirzechs' eyes began to shift to their intimidating ruby shade, indicating that he was preparing to unleash his ultimate destruction magic. "Don't run away, Issei," Sirzechs shouted, hitting Issei with a direct hit, destroying his armor in an instant. Issei fell down to one knee, coughing up some blood representing Sirzechs' magic power's aftermath. "Well, Issei, are you going to give up already? If so, I'm afraid I won't allow you to crash my cute little sister's wedding party," Sirzechs said with a menacing stare, sending another wave of destructive power towards him. Issei luckily dodged, re-materializing his armor and using his jets to evade the insane magic attack. "What are you saying? Issei, it's time I finally test your full potential. I am going to come at you with no reserve. And if you can't even land one blow on me, I will deem you unfit to care for my little sister." "What are you saying? If you let Razor marry her, he will defile her and make her depressed." "Yes, that is true. However, if you can't prove your resolve to me or show me the power you possess to protect Rias, I will not allow you to interfere. I would rather have Rias safe and alive than to find her dead, murdered by our enemies because you couldn't protect her." "Fine. I will show you right now my full power," Issei said, dodging another one of Sirzechs' attacks. The Red Dragon Emperor was shot at with another dose of Sirzechs' power, but this time Issei countered with his own strike. Dragon shot. Issei's attack looked very powerful previously, but compared to the demon lord's overwhelming power, it seemed like nothing more than throwing a rock than a powerful blast. Issei managed to avoid the reflected attack thanks to his evasive technique when he rolled to the side. "Damn it, is that all you have? Then leave. Before I kill you," Sirzechs bellowed, unleashing another attack, showing no mercy. "At this rate, I will have to entrust her to Razor. Honestly, a member of the Grimoire household unable to fight against her own problems and rely on others is truly pathetic." Issei suddenly was surrounded in raging flames. "What the fuck did you just say? Interesting. How dare you talk about Rias that way?" Issei said, firing a more pumped-up dragon shot with both of his fists, which were halted by Sirzechs' reinforced demonic defensive shield. "I don't care if you are her brother, I swear that if you speak about the one I admire the most like that again, I will fucking destroy you," Issei roared, making Sirzechs smile. "If you have a problem with it, then silence me yourself." "With pleasure. Boost. Boost. Greg, I'm doing it now. Back me up," Issei said, removing his helmet. "You got it, partner. Show him the fruits of your training," Drake said, synchronizing with Issei, feeling his burning resolve. "Take this," Issei said, bringing his head back and concentrating his magical power for a fearsome attack. In an instant, Issei launched forth from his mouth a deadly ferocious fireball. This isn't much, I could just block this without a worry. Due to its lack in size. Now drag. Boosted gear gift. Transfer. All of a sudden, all of Issei's gathered magical power was given to his new technique, making it the size of the towering ceiling of the room. This is interesting. Very interesting. Sirzechs said, deploying his magical barrier. Sirzechs struggled to hold the inferno blaze back due to its reinforced power. Almost instantly, Sirzechs grew even more surprised when Issei leaped out from inside the towering inferno, using his jets to shoot right through the scalding heat. Smashing his fist into Sirzechs' barrier. I can feel your power has increased. However, that will not be enough, I'm afraid. I will have to leave Rias to Razor. Sirzechs said as he planned to launch a disaster strike back. I will never let that bastard make Rias sad. Issei shouted, smashing his fist into it again. I may seem like a stupid devil to you, but I will show the full ability and resolve this idiot can do. Boost. Boost. Sirzechs was highly startled when a thunderous fist connected right with his cheek, destroying the area around him. Issei panted heavily, his fist still implanted in Sirzechs' cheek. As expected of the all-powerful Sirzechs, all that power and still not one scratch to prove my attack. Issei said, collapsing to his knees, his armor falling off next to him. Even so, you did very well. I'm sorry I deceived you, but I wanted you to come at me with everything you have got. Also, I wanted to see how you really felt about my little sister. Please save Rias. I am putting her happiness and future in your hands. Sirzechs said, smiling, placing a hand on his shoulder. Go get some rest, you depart tomorrow. Sirzechs said, returning the room to its previous state. Thank you, Sirzechs, please leave Rias to me. Issei said, his resolve and mission clear to him as he journeyed to his room. The next day marked one of sadness to a certain teenaged red-haired girl as she stood blankly staring at herself in the mirror wearing a gorgeous pure white dress. Rias Gremory fantasized multiple times of this day where she could wear such a beautiful pure dress. But Rias could do nothing but frown and hold back tears when she looked at herself in the mirror. This isn't what she wanted. She wanted to decide this day by herself. She wanted to decide the man she would wed by herself. It was at that moment of sadness a certain someone appeared in her mind, making her heart skip a beat. Issei. Rias said, feeling like she was about to break down, but then stayed strong after she saw that nightmare again. No, this is for the best, at least now Issei won't be gone for good. Even if that means I won't be able to be with him anymore. Rias said, interrupted from her thoughts by the sudden magic circle capturing her. Well then, allow me to introduce her. My Empress Rias Gremory. Riser said as the beautiful devil touched the floor. All of a sudden, the two humongous wooden doors which allowed the guests entrance to the hall were launched across the hall and collided into the wall behind Razor. Rias suddenly felt very happy when she saw Issei perfectly fine right there in front of her. I didn't think you would actually come, you worthless devil, but I'm afraid I've lost interest. Get lost before I have you arrested. Razor said, thinking this would make Issei back down. My name is Hayadu Issei, pawn to the beautiful and magnificent Rias Gremory. The president know Rias' happiness is my job to fulfill. Issei said, making Rias blush from the sudden outburst and her name being spoken. You damn brat. Razor said, clicking his fingers and summoning his peerage. We went easy on you last time, but this time we won't hold back. Let's go, Carmine. Siri said, following after Razor's other knight. Tremble in fear by the power of a holy sword. Carmine said, striking Issei's sacred gear, expecting him to scream in pain. The holy weapon had no effect on a low-class devil. Don't tell me, you bastard, did you give your left arm to the dragon inside your sacred gear? Razor said, suddenly surprised by Issei's crazy act. One arm is nothing. If I can get Rias back. Issei said, uppercutting the dazed knight into the ceiling. Everyone unleashed the power of the phoenix. Razor's queen said, making all of Riser's servants concentrate their power together, making an enormous fireball. The power of the phoenix is nothing compared to the power of a dragon. Issei said, countering with an even larger fireball, creating a smoke screen. It was over in an instant. Issei worked quickly, eliminating each and every one of Razor's servants with one blow, each using his incredible speed and power. Now I'll say it again. Razor. I challenge you to a duel to set Rias free. Do you accept? Or are you scared that your perfect winning streak will be crushed by a mere low-class devil? Issei said, emerging from the smokescreen. You bastard. How dare you make such a scene at the engagement party of the marriage which will save our race from extinction? Razor said, infuriated by Issei's behavior. Why don't you do it, Razor? This is a duel to win my little sister's heart after all. Sirzechs. Big brother. Wait, it's the demon lord, one of the guests said. What are you saying, Sirzechs? This low-class devil is not worthy to. This is my little sister's engagement party, and I want to see it for myself, the resolve of that boy who challenges you so daringly. I want to see the power of the dragon. I see so a battle between a dragon and a phoenix. Very well then, I will mark this as my final battle before I settle down and make Rias my wife. So Hayadu Issei, what would you like as your reward if you win? Sirzechs said, causing uproar between the noble guests. Sirzechs Lucifer. You can't seriously be thinking of giving a reward to a low-class devil, one noble said, in which Sirzechs answered easily. Even if he is a low class, he is still a devil who is willing to go so far for my little sister. So what do you desire? Money, power. Rias Gremory. I demand you cancel this engagement and give her back to me. Issei said, making Rias blush again. The two competitors were suddenly transported to another dimension surrounded by gigantic chess pieces. Well then, let the match begin. Sirzechs said, signaling them to start. Sit tight, Rias, I will be back for you once I burn this parasite. Be prepared. Razor said, summoning his flame wings. Don't worry, Rias. I promised you before that I will bring you back with me. So just watch this fight. I will show you the power of your servant. Issei said, making his gauntlet appear. Granted with his king's permission, Issei promoted himself to queen and began to charge Razor. Say good night. Razor said, launching his hellfire orb at Issei. Issei made the spectators gasp in shock when he made his sacred gear glow, and he punched his way through the magic attack. He then sprung from his current position and landed a roundhouse kick to Razor's chest, crashing him into the huge rook piece. After the high-class devil crashed, he instantly emerged from the ruins with ease. I see, it looks like my current power isn't enough to defeat you. Issei said, making Razor laugh. Are you scared of me? Without your boosted gear, you're nothing but trash. Razor said, mocking Issei's attack. Scared? Of course not. It just means I will have to take my boosted gear to the next level. Let's do it, Drag. Alright, ready when you are, partner. Drag replied as the boosted gear began to outshine the stadium. Low. Overboost. Welsh Dragon Overbooster. Watch and be amazed. This is the power of the Gremory household. The power of the sekiryutei. Balance breaker. Boosted gear. Scale mail. Issei said, proudly, now wearing his dragon armor. Balance breaker, the forbidden move. Rias said, completely flabbergasted. However, Rias wasn't just surprised that Issei could use balance breaker. She was more surprised to his appearance, as it matched the stray devil that annihilated the fallen angel at the abandoned factory, making it all clear to the Crimson Princess. Issei was the stray devil who easily eviscerated the fallen angel. Feel free to back down now, Razor, before I destroy you, Issei said, shooting out his dragon wings. Razor couldn't react in time, unable to dodge Issei's ultimate gut punch. At speed and increase in power. What the hell is going on? Razor said as he was sent flying by Issei's immediate axe kick. You dare mock the Phoenix household? You're just a low-class peasant. Cower before the almighty Phoenix. Razor said, igniting himself and creating a huge bird of fire. Do you think that fire can scare me? Issei said, punching his way straight into the blaze. Razor was shocked and furious the moment he felt himself be overpowered and sent flying again by that arrogant red dragon emperor. Dragon shot. Issei said, quickly recovering from Razor's attack, which sent him back a bit. Razor grew angrier. Don't get cocky just because you have some fancy armor. I will destroy it and you along with it. Razor said, taking immediate evasive action once the dragon shot almost made impact, crumbling the bishop statue instead. How can a low-class devil like him be overpowering Razor? One of the nobles said, completely overwhelmed in the excitement. Razor, give up, you can't win. Issei said as he towered above him. Don't screw with me. I am immortal, my injuries will instantly recover. Then I will just have to keep beating you until you can no longer heal yourself. I have made my decision and I will not let you hurt Rias anymore. Issei said, igniting his boosters and immediately punching Razor in his vulnerable cheek. Razor spit out blood to his astonishment and then retaliated, using his rage to pump up his punch, hitting the sekiryutei in the face as well. Not let me hurt her. I don't think you understand, kid. Rias belongs to me and I will be taking her body for myself even before the ceremony. I will defile her and make her bow down to my power. Issei spat out a few drops of blood and then kicked Razor very hard in the ribs. Shut up. Say anything like that again and I won't hold back. Issei said, quickly being hit by Razor's ignited fist again. Oh? As I thought, you're just a kid. Listen well, I'm going to take Rias' virginity. Razor said, making a grave mistake by angering Issei further. Shut up. Don't speak of my master as a piece of meat. Issei shouted, this time adding a more powerful sidekick to his chest, sending him airborne again. I will fry you, boy. I won't let you make her cry, Razor. The crowd stared in awe, watching the mixtures of crimson and orange lights clashing with each other and then shooting across the sky in another direction, only to collide again. Just give up. There is nothing you can do. Rias is my woman and I can make her obey my every command. Razor said, making Issei angrier. Shut up. Her boobs are my own toys. Watch as I slightly alter the dress I designed for her. Razor said, clicking his fingers, making Rias scream. President Rias, Issei shouted, seeing Rias bend over holding her chest. Issei quickly noticed his president's embarrassment as she covered her released boobs. Her torso completely burned away by that perverted bastard. You perverted grilled chicken. Issei said, grabbing Razor as he descended from the skies above and crashed him into the ground. How dare you do that to my master? I'll kill you. Issei said, delivering a few punches to his face, launching him into another building afterwards. You damn brat. I'll kill you now. Razor said, ignited in fury as he crashed into Issei again. Issei noticed now that Razor's moves were now very inaccurate and easier to evade due to his uncontrollable rage. It's over, you damn low-class devil scum. Yeah, you're right, it really is over now. Issei said, instantly punching Razor in the gut. Arg. Razor said, feeling the full extent of Issei's punch. Damn you. Razor said, now unable to counterattack against Issei's incredible increased speed and power thanks to his sacred gear, boosting his power every 10 seconds. Issei unleashed a machine gun fist combo on Razor's gut, finishing the multiple strikes with a powerful uppercut and a sky-falling kick, sending Razor to the ground again. It's over, Razor. Issei said, concentrating the magic in his gauntlets. Boost. Boost. Dragon cannon. The Red Dragon Emperor shouted as he shot 2 dragon shots, one from each gauntlet. The 2 individual deadly blasts formed together in the middle, multiplying both their speed and power, becoming a colossal death ray as it descended upon the ground. A huge explosion of crimson light shot throughout the whole stadium, making the spectators shield their eyes as the ultimate finisher collided with its target. A huge commotion erupted in the crowd as soon as they were able to see again. Razor Phoenix has lost consciousness. The winner is Issei. The announcer said, making the dimension begin to crumble. Looks like he did it, Sirzechs said as the Red Dragon Emperor's armor fell off, meaning he used up all of his magic power. Rias smiled as both a blush and tears ran down her cheeks. Issei, you're so. Rias said, quickly leaping off the balcony and deploying her own devil wings to catch her falling pawn that had used up the last of his magic power. President. Issei said, now within Rias' embrace. Issei. Thank you, Issei. My Issei. Rias said, hugging Issei's face. Rias landed next to her brother. Looks like you did it, Issei. I leave my little sister to your care. Sirzechs said, making Rias shout. Big brother, don't go saying things like, yes, you've got it, Sirzechs, I won't let anything happen to her, Issei said, making Rias blush again, seeing Issei's manly side. You're a present for your victory, seeing as you are unable to make your own way home. Sirzechs said, handing Issei a parchment with a magic symbol on the back. Rias walked with Issei to the other Grimoire household members, unable to unwrap herself from his muscular arm. Yo everyone, it's been a while. Issei said, smiling as he waved at his teammates. Issei-san. Geez, I was so worried about you. Asia said, wrapping Issei in a warm and soothing emerald light. Issei felt his fatigue and pain leave him. Asia's sacred gear being a complete success. Thank you, Asia, you've become stronger. Issei said, using his other free hand to pat her head. I knew you could take down that guy, Issei. Kiba said, fist bumping his comrade. Of course, Kiba, I wasn't going to let him take our president away. Issei said, sticking his thumb and smiling. Haidu really is manly, hey, can I call you Issei-kun? An elegant black-haired lady said, winking at him. Sure thing, then I will call you Akeno-san. Issei said, making the fair lady blush. That makes me happy, Issei-kun. Akeno said, trying to hug him, but was halted by Ria's glare whilst she continued to hug his arm. But Akeno didn't mind, she was overall relieved to see the girl who rescued her happy again. What is this anyway? Issei said, staring at the pamphlet he was given by the demon lord. It's a griffin. Ria said as soon as the creature shot out from the magic circle. Well, seeing as it's Issei's moment of triumph, why don't we allow him to escort the president back to the clubroom? Akeno said, making Issei blush. Good idea, can I ask you to do that for me? Ria said, finally able to release herself from his arm. If it's your order, President. Issei said, helping her onto the back of the griffin. Well then everyone, we will meet you back in the clubroom. Issei said when the griffin began its flight. Issei was surprised when he felt a hand touch his cheek. President. You're such a fool, giving up your arm just for me. Ria said, rubbing his left arm. It was worth it, after all I managed to save you, didn't I? You may have been able to beat Razor, but another high-class devil may come along trying to marry me because of my family name again. Well then I guess I'll have to get stronger and protect you, Issei. I have made up my mind, no matter how many times I will always come and save you. After all, I am Ria's Grimoire's pawn, Issei declared, quickly being silenced by Ria's lips when they pressed against his as the griffin flew past the shining moon. That was my first kiss. In Japan it's something teenage girl really treasure, right? Ria said with a pink blush under her eyes. Well yeah, I guess it is. Wait a second. That was your first kiss. Is it really okay for me to take it? Issei said, completely shocked for the sudden honor. You have done so much for me. That's your reward, Ria said, looking at Issei happily. Well, I will accept it gratefully, President Rias. Issei said back to her. Also, I have decided that I will also live in your house. Ria said, making Issei almost fall off the griffin because of the sudden shock of the demon lord's little sister being a guest in his home. As a master I plan to deepen my bonds with you my precious and cute pawn. Rias said placing a hand on his cheek again. I understand. Issei said smiling. Rias relaxed her body leaning backwards onto his chest. The sound of the soothing wind in the atmosphere as they flew through the night sky of the underworld. End of the part 2. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.